I'll let you see what I've been doing so far. Things are progressing. There are certain things that are holding us back. I'm waiting for the brackets for the top of the van to hold the roof rack on that's going to hold the solar panels, etc., etc. So anyway, we're waiting for those, and they've been, oh my God, maybe 2 months coming. And they're finally in Canada, I see by the tracking, but still haven't received it. It's supposed to be by, well, next 2 weeks. At any rate, I built the bench for the van, and yeah, I'll show you what I've done up to this point. It's just, you know, you just do what you can at the time, and here you can see now that I've got the bench in, and this is just a dry fit. Unfortunately, what has happened is, as you can see there, the driver's seat, it interferes with the driver's seat spinning right around. I'm good with that, because if you look at that, just like a lazy boy chair. I can use both chairs and put my feet over the other one and relax, and my wife can do her thing down here. So anyway, what I have here is on the bench. You can see there, it's two different drawer sizes. One's an 8-inch and the other one is 10 or 11. But and for a total height of I think 14.5 plus 3/4, and then a 5-inch cushion. So it gets in around that 19 inches, which is the proper seating height with compression of the foam. So anyway, on the one side, as you can see, it's all for USB charge points. So that section will lift up. The other one will be permanent, and they'll both have drawers underneath them to use up any space that's left. And as you can see, we've got all the stuff here for the electrical. Now in there, you can see how I've cut it. It's that's going to be cut into that next unit beside it, because that's the access to the furnace. So anyway, that's why it's done like that. So, and what I've done is, because of the way that's set up, is I've made holes, if you can see this here, in both units, there, and for airflow, because I want to keep the airflow positive. So anyway, what I'm going to be doing now is taking it all apart, because that little area there that you see in here, where am I going the opposite direction? Right in here, that area in there on the floor will be where the furnace is. So we have to take it out so that we have room to actually work, instead of, you know, it's like working in a shoebox. And then above that, above the diesel heater will be, I'm thinking of either putting a mesh in, or a wood/mesh type of scenario, where any extraneous heat can rise, and because I'm not sure what these units put out above the appliance, other than, you know, where it's actually blowing the heat. And above that area will be, I believe, the way it's looking, is going to be like a shoe cubby. And so now any heat will, you know, apply a drying effect to the shoes. And above that will be a closet, so for hanging clothes. Okay guys, this is that end panel that at the bottom I have my furnace, and this is the last part before the couch. And so anyway, I'm doing a little painting today, and there's a couple of different thoughts on interior colors for vans. Keep it light. Then I heard, you know, yeah, you can, a lot of people go with the white and it shows dirt. And so anyway, there's all kinds of schools of thought on it. So anyway, I've kind of looked at it and decided that I'm going to go with a little darker colors. So I'm going to paint this, and might not be what you're expecting. So hang on, because this is the color. Yeah, you're not going to miss this color. Anyway, this is the color of the accent pieces in the van, because the van is gray, and this is going to be the centerpiece where the sink, not the sink, the where the fridge and everything is. So anyway, I'm going to paint this up and see how it turns out, because it's not what I would have really chosen. This is basically off a color palette, complementary colors. It's exterior paint to give it a little more wear and tear, I hope. And now you might be wondering why I'm putting it right on untreated plywood. I haven't primed it because I did prime some other stuff and I found it went on very thin. So I would rather have this soak in and give it 2 coats, because I have to regardless. Looking at the other things that I did, for some reason it's just the way it's going on. And like I said, over the white, because those I did prime with Kills primer, it still seemed to be a little blotchy. So anyway, and I primed those twice. So I'll continue on with this. I know it's going to take more than 1 coat, so it's just a matter of applying until I get to the point that I want it to be. So anyway, this is the color. Okay, well, I got her painted, and yeah, it kind of stands out. But anyway, I'll show you where that goes. And the next component to this build that I think has got quite a challenge to it, it's those darn windows, trying to box them in. So anyway, I'll try and show you here what I'm into and how I've approached this. Okay, so anyway, that piece that I did, that wall, it goes right in here. And as I've shown before, it has a lot of components. Actually, I had to do some trimming, because when I originally did it, I could just put it in and slide it in. But now I've got some of the ceiling in, so I had to open up the top and the bottom so that it would kick in, because I didn't have that ability just to take it and slide it in, because there was no obstructions up here. So anyway, yeah, so it locks right in to the side of the window in here. And so what I've done is I put the piece in, and I've got a kind of a kicker here for the top so that I can put this in, the ceiling, and I can start building this other component. But now what I'm into is, yeah, you can see down in the corner here, I have done the bottom piece, the bottom plate for the window. Mission accomplished here. I got her done. The only thing that I had to deal with was really, there was a taper from the bottom to the top, and it was about 3/4 of an inch, so I just had to take that into consideration, because there's natural curvature to the van. So anyway, I'll show you what I've done here, and other considerations that I have to look at, and it's all part of these vans and how they're set up. So anyway, let's have a look. Okay, so there is the finished board. As you see, it comes up. Now I'm not going to put this in right now, because I want to paint it all, because obviously this edge, where are we here? This edge in here, next to the window, I don't want the end grain to the cold side of the vehicle without it being sealed, because I don't want it to absorb moisture. So I'm going to give it a good soaking of some type of sealer or varathane or whatever, and that'll hopefully thwart any problems that could result in the future. So anyway, there's the piece, and right here is where the other wall goes, right, like this. So I'm not gonna put this in yet, because I don't want this stuff to get in the way of putting the wall in. Now, when I said there was a little bit of an issue here, what it is you can see it down here in the bottom corner. It's all the corners. Because of the curvature of the van, I'm going to have to do something here to fill these in. And that will be probably a video in itself, because there is a way. I've done it before. I've made crown moldings on a table saw, and it's where you put the wood through the blade at a 45-degree angle, and you're not doing a Nerf cut, you're actually using it like a grinder. And it's something where you slowly raise the bit, or not the bit, the blade, and it chews out. And I'm going to see if I can get a tight enough radius. The 45 might not be sharp enough to do this, but yeah, these are actually little pieces, so I'm going to have to see what I can do in these corners, because the way it sits, it's not right. Now, the other thing is, when you look up here, right up here, now, when you take these, you see that it's like that. And I don't know that I want to do that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use a particle board, a hard board, and see if I can curve this. And it'll go down to this edge here. So I'm going to go and cut a piece and just see what it's going to look like. And the only consideration here is that it's over 48 inches, and I would like it to tuck into this area so that it goes all in behind here, right down to this line, tuck in behind here, you see? And that way it looks finished, eh? And potentially all along down here, because it's only 1/4 of an inch thick. So I would like to have a consistent look if I can. And yeah, I don't know where I'll join it, maybe up in this area in here. So anyway, that's the next thing. And yeah, like I said, it's almost 49 inches. So I'm going to steal it from in here, because this will probably be up in or underneath the counter. But I'll have to see how that turns out as I go along here. See what I can steal from the piece of wood that I got left. So that's the next move, guys. Okay, talk to you. Bye. So anyway, here we are in the van, and what I'm going to do is give you a little update. Actually, what it also does, gives me a chance to play here, because I've picked up a new camera, and I'm just going to give it a little try with this update on the video that you're currently watching. So anyway, I will turn the camera here and show you that window area and how it turned out. Obviously, this is later in the date, and you can hear things are going on. Okay, so here's that area that I built out. Yeah, it turned out well. I'll drop the cushions here, and you can see the areas that I was concerned with. And primarily it would be this corner, or all 4 corners, but as an example, this corner, I was going to build a trim to address this radius. But by the time I covered that in, where would you make the transition in here? And all it does is extend it out to the outer edge, then you have to deal with it there. So what I finally did was I just caulked it and, you know, painted it, and that'll do what needs to be done to clean it up. Unless you're right on top of this and looking at it, then you would know that maybe, you know, it's not built out. But other than that, it turned out well. The bead board did tuck into the back here, and as you can see, I put a 1/4 round all up and down the window to finish it out. That wall up here, it did turn out curved, and I was able to draw it in with screws up behind this area in here, because there's the cabinet framing, it's behind it. And yeah, so anyway, I drew it in, glued it, let it set, and then when the cabinetry went on top of it, the backer board up here that hangs the cabinet, it also pinches it in there. So it turned out okay. On the inside you can't see it, but you do have issues like, yeah, like right here, there's framework from the original van. When this was built, I pulled everything in as far as I could, and on a lot of builds you see people put strapping on top of all these ribs across the van, and they build on top of it, and it's just layer on layer on layer, and I didn't want to do that. So this is how I did it. It required a little more work, but I had the time and the tools, and that's the way I approached it. yeah, I'm happy with it. I don't think I would have done anything differently. It turned out nice and clean, and other than a final coat of paint, which I think you're always going to be doing, I'm satisfied. So here is how it looks, well put together. So anyway, hopefully that maybe give you some ideas on how you might want to approach it, because it's all about managing your time and a combination of tools and talent and things of that nature, which is still debatable whether I have them. So take care, guys, and we'll talk to you later. Bye.